Pages in Figma allow you to organize content in your files on different canvases. For instance, if you create a page to contain an iOS version of an app, you can also create a page to contain the Android version, or maybe create a page to hold all of the reusable elements you want to use, and a page for the app or the website. There really are a lot of uses for pages. In this video, you'll see how to create and navigate a page in Figma. With your travel app open in here, you should see on the left-hand side here that we have the layers of the content in the document, which includes things like the frames that we've created, as well as that content we pasted in. And we'll have pages up here. If you don't see pages, what you can do is click on the arrow to the left of page 1. Now, your pages, like I said, can be a lot. You can create a lot of them. In other words, you can create one for the Android, one for the iOS. We've kind of already talked about a few examples here, but if you want to create, let's say, another page that contains icons, and we've got this icon, this status bar icon up here, we're going to copy and paste into there. We can do that. So come to Pages here, click on the plus, and it'll add a new page, and we can name this like icons or something we want it to be, then press enter or return. You're going to see it's not going to contain anything. It's just a big old canvas out here, and we can change the background color and do all kinds of things. Now, the thing about pages you're going to find is that we're not going to necessarily prototype or create connections between pages like this. So they're going to be different. They're going to be separate from each other, that is. But we can do things like export content from each. Now, to show page 1 again here, if you just click on it, you can come to the status bar here, and we're going to copy paste that. Now, if you click on one of the objects here, it's going to select that single object. We're going to talk more about this, but click on status bar, and what we're going to do is just cut and paste it. So if you know the commands, you can do that. You can also right-click right on the object here, and instead of copy-paste from one page to the next, you can come to Move to Page and say, let's move it to Icons. Click on Icons, the page. That should open it up, and you should hopefully see it down there. Now, don't go grabbing it by an individual object, but grab it by the status bar right up here, and you should be able to move it around. So like I said, it's treated sort of like a group of objects. This is actually, if you look at the icon, the same icon here, this is a frame. So you can see it's part of a frame. Now, just because it's on a frame, you got to be careful of frames to start with. We're going to talk about what are called constraints later on. But in this case, if we scale this frame, make it bigger or smaller, you're going to see it's going to actually stretch and squish, do all kinds of crazy things with these icons. I'm going to undo that by pressing Command-Z on Mac or Control-Z on Windows. Those are called constraints. If you click on an object on the frame, it's going to either scale or be stuck to an edge based on how you scale the frame. So if you look over here in constraints, this object is actually scaling. If you don't want that to happen when you change a frame size, you can come here and choose like left and top. Just stick it in there, or center it, or do something like that. That way, if I click back on the frame and resize it or scale it, you'll see what it does. All right, let me undo that, Command-Z or Control-Z. I wanted to point that out because if you start messing with the frames with content on them, you'll see different things happening. Okay, now I want to select all this content. So click on one object, shift-click between the other two objects. Let's group them together. So to group them together, you can right-click or control-click. You can also just press Command-G or Control-G. Let's copy them. So you can copy Command-C, Control-C. Go back over to page 1 by clicking page 1. And we're going to paste it in. And you're going to see it's going to associate it with nothing here. But I'm going to drag it right up here to the top of the home one. And let's put it right up there at the top. Now, I know it's white. We're going to create some content later on. We'll talk about that. But let's leave it there for right now. Go ahead and click to deselect.